What if the real reason you're overwhelmed is invisible? Have you ever felt completely maxed out but still unsure where your day actually went? It's as if every day feels full, but your most important goals stay untouched. In this video, you'll learn how to spot where your time is actually going, cut the noise, and save over 10 hours a week without sacrificing making real progress towards your goals, whether that be scaling your business or moving up the corporate ladder. After working with dozens of ambitious women to reach their goals faster, when it comes to regaining control of your time, what I know for sure is you can't reclaim time you haven't accounted for. Let's start by making your time visible so you can finally take control of it. Doing a time audit is like cleaning out a messy closet. If you pull everything out, you realize you've been holding on to a bunch of things that don't even fit your goals anymore. And you finally see what's worth keeping. I remember the first time I did this, I thought I was using my time so well, like so proud of myself, not thinking I was gonna find much. But when I looked at the data, I was busy, but not with the things that actually move my life or my business forward. So here's how we make the invisible visible. This is what I call, I'm going to draw it for you, the time visibility triangle. And at the base of our triangle, we have audit. This is the base first layer of your power. This is audit. For 1 full week, but 2 is really suggested, you're going to track your time honestly. This isn't a productivity test, it's a mirror. So here's what you're going to log. You're going to log what you're doing, so the task. You're going to log when you start and stop it, so the time. And you're also going to log what category it fits into. If you're an entrepreneur, you'll sort each task into business building categories. So think of your business like a rocket, and you have activities that are like the engine and activities that are the fuel. So think of it like 2 levels. Let me draw it here for you. Level 1 is the engine. So here you're going to have the things that are the engine of your business, those systems that keep it going. So your track system, your conversion system, so convert, your deliver system, how you deliver what it is you sell or offer in your business. And 4 is your innovation system, the way that you continue to improve the business and your products. Level 2 is the fuel, and you have your financial management, your team management, and your vision work. If you're working a 9-to-5 or building your dream on the side, just use more traditional categories like admin, meetings, lesson planning, or whatever matches your world, and be real with yourself. Don't round up time to make it look good. This is not a highlight reel. It's the behind the scenes footage of what you're actually doing, right? Because this audit is going to give you awareness. But that awareness only comes when you're honest. And to make this time audit easy for you, I have a Google Sheets time audit template below with formulas and categories already built in. You could grab it for free in the description below. Now, once you've got it all laid out, you might be staring at the time log thinking, okay, I have tracked all of this, but what do I actually do with this? And that's where most people make the mistake of stopping. That's why in this next step, I'm going to show you how to actually make sense of your time so that you can stop guessing what's working and finally know what's worth it. Okay, so this is the analyze phase of our time visibility triangle, the left side of this triangle. And here's where it gets juicy. We're going to run your time log through what I call the boss matrix, which analyzes how much things are 1, you coded, and 2, impactful to the business. And I designed this matrix for entrepreneurs, but you can easily tweak it to fit your role as an entrepreneur or a corporate baddie as well. So the 2 questions you're going to ask for every task is, was it high or low impact, and did it really need you, or could someone else or something else like AI be doing it? Because listen, just because something takes time doesn't mean it deserves your time. So let's run through this boss matrix. So this first area on the bottom that is low you code coded and low impactful on the business, I call the swamp. This is the swamp of false productivity, and eventually you're going to eliminate these things. This is where dreams go to drown in admin, perfectionism, and procrastinating. For me, it was spending hours fiddling with Instagram when Instagram never really did anything for my business. And as a busy mom, I hated how much I had to post over there. For you, it might be reorganizing your Google Drive for the 12th time, tinkering with Canva graphics that won't ever actually even get posted, or responding to every DM like it's your job. And spoiler alert, it's not. You don't need to get better at this stuff. You need to just stop doing it. So then we have the top left, which I call the candy bowl. And these you're going to do sparingly. Now, this one hurts a little bit. This is what I call the candy bowl because you might like to do these things. They are tasks that feel good. They're highly coded, but they're not moving the needle for your business. They trick you into thinking that you're doing something important because you enjoy them. So these could be things like re-editing your slide deck for the 5th time, or getting sucked into a deep conversation on Voxer about color palettes. My example, I love chatting in the YouTube comments. I give this example a lot, and I still do this, but I do it sparingly. I do it 30 minutes once a week. That's my little treat. You don't have to throw out the candy in the candy bowl, but you do need to put a lid on the jar, really, or the bowl, so you're not wasting time here. Then we have the bottom right, which I call the engine room. These tasks matter, but they don't need you. They're high impact, but they are low coded. So in other words, somebody else or something else can handle them. So you're going to SAD them, either systemize them, automate them, or delegate them. So think things like editing your YouTube videos, building your email automations, updating your website. For me, video editing was eating up my evenings. Important, yes, but not the Tiffany level things that I'm really great at. And my editor does a much better job than I could ever do. So shout out to Angel. Your job, like I said here, is to systemize, to get it down to as little time as possible, to automate, and if those things aren't possible, to delegate. Then we have this top right, which I call the CEO flow zone. These are highly coded and highly impactful for your business. So this is your brilliance, your creativity, your strategy. This is where you scale with alignment with what makes you you, or they could be those things that only you can do. So examples from my own business are filming this video. Only I could do that. Designing the new frameworks and templates that I use to teach my intellectual property. Mapping out next quarter strategy for my community. And yes, even here I apply what Dan Martell calls, or that's who I learned it from anyway, the 10-80-10 rule. That's where you do the initial 10%, you delegate the 80% of the manual work, and then you come back to polish it yourself, the 10%. And then the tippy top of this zone, which I'll put in a light green here, I call your visionary task. And these you're going to do 100%, or you and your co-founders or partners. So this is your visionary work. You don't outsource your mission. This is where your future gets built. And these are things that are 100% done by you and your partners. Also, a quick note, sign up for my live free workshop. It's what I'm calling the Productive Boss Workshop, where I'll be diving deep into strategies to get organized in your business. So if we go back to our triangle, this type of analyzing the tasks that you audited is going to give you clarity. So you have audited your task, your time, and categorized them by business or your job categories, but then you're going to go in and analyze them to gain more clarity on what part of the boss matrix these things are falling into. And in the template that I give you for free, you have a section to add that to each task as well. So now that you've analyzed where your time is actually going, we're not just going to sit there with the insight. Next, I'm going to show you how to realign your schedule so it reflects who you are, where you're going, and how you actually want to live. So think of your calendar like a grocery cart. Every hour is an item you're putting inside. The problem, most of us are shopping hungry. We throw in every shiny task, every request, every I should probably, but when you shop with a list, when you know what meals you're planning and what fuels your body, you fill that cart intentionally. And the same thing goes for time. You're not just blocking hours, you're curating a life, really. So let's rework your calendar like it's your grocery list for the week. We want it to be purposeful, we want it to be aligned, and we want it to be nourishing. So the last side of our triangle is align. Okay, so here's what we're going to do next. So for the ones you marked as eliminate or the swamp, we're going to completely remove them from your calendar, full stop, unsubscribe, say no, delete, and decline. For the things you marked as candy bowl tasks, you're going to do them sparingly. You're going to give them a container. You're going to set timers for them, set boundaries for them, and you're going to stick with them. The ones you marked as the engine room, you're going to automate, systemize, or delegate. So if it's not CEO work, find a way to run it without you or run it on autopilot with you. So create SOPs, use tools with AI, hire help, and even if it's part-time or contracted help, get someone to help you with these engine room tasks. If you labeled it your CEO flow zone, you're going to double down. This is where your genius lives. You're going to build your schedule around these tasks, not around everyone else's demands. And you're going to use that 10-80-10 rule to scale your impact without burning out. So 10% your vision, 80% done for you, and then 10% polished. And this is your power move. It's not just about saving time, it's about owning it. So let's look at this entire triangle. If you've ever felt like time's just slipping through your fingers, this is your map back to your clarity. Audit, analyze, and align. Be sure to grab that time audit template in the description below and sign up for my live free workshop, Productive Boss, where I'll be diving deep into strategies to get organized in your business. And now that you've got the tools to reclaim 10+ hours a week, let's talk about what to do with that time and how to make sure you never slide back into the swamp of false productivity. I want you to watch this video next to learn my 3-7 time blocking method for getting everything done. And until next time, cheers to planning, manifesting, and enjoying your dream life. Namaste.